Hello. All right, look at that. Just the hello gets an applause. You guys are amazing. Oh my God, wow. This is so exciting. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Adam Lerner. I'm the Dran McGrath, Executive Director and CEO of Palm Springs Art Museum. And welcome to the inaugural event of Q Plus Art. Now you can applaud. I want to acknowledge that we are on the ancestral homelands of the Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians. We recognize their ongoing cultural and spiritual connection to this land, past, present, and future. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be able to launch this program with you here today. Q Plus Art is a comprehensive initiative. It's not just about producing exhibitions, though we will produce regular exhibitions that center queer art and artists on an ongoing basis at the museum. It's about that, but it's also about ongoing programming in this theater and elsewhere in the museum, performances, talks, screenings. We want to be able to tell the stories of the queer artists' contributions to art history and to culture. I mean, it is extraordinary when you think about it, how long it even took us as a country to have a Smithsonian African American History and Culture Museum to recognize achievements that have needed to be recognized as part of American culture. And it makes sense that Palm Springs Art Museum takes a leading role nationally in telling the stories of LGBT contributions to art and to culture. And I want to say that today is a program that we're excited about, and I hope you feel the spirit of the program, because that's what matters much, much more than anything else. Is not what's actually happening today alone, although it's going to be really fantastic programming. It's about what this is kicking off. It's about what is to come, and we see this as a symbol of what we care about. So that's why we are, telling the stories of art history that needs to be told. But that's what we're going to be committed to over the coming years, is continuing to tell these stories that need to be addressed about how LGBT art has been a part of our art historical legacy here in this country and elsewhere. We also have an award program that we are going to expand even further, because for us it's about how we make public our commitment to the LGBT art and art history. It's how we tell those, not just that we do it, but that we are extroverted in doing it, that we actually are doing it in such a way as we make it safe for other museums around the country to do so as well. It's doing it so that people, they counter all of the hate and prejudice that exists throughout the country, that we're doing things here that actually people around elsewhere will look to. And that's why it's so important that this be, that this initiative happen within a general art museum, within an encyclopedic museum that doesn't have a single focus on the subject matter, but actually is for broad audiences, because that's truly the work that needs to be done. It's for all audiences to understand that museums are places of inclusivity, and that we cannot tell any aspect of culture without telling all of the dimensions of our culture. And so that's what enriches our community. That's what enriches our museum as well. So you've got a great program here today, and I'm not going to be the one to sort of talk about the program. I just want to mention a couple of things, and that we have a full afternoon of events, And it culminates in the opening of an exhibition of our permanent collection, art by LGBTQ plus artists within our permanent collection, curated by our adjunct curator, Robert Kett, and that is upstairs. There's an opening for that at the end of the today's programming. Hopefully you'll join us for that afterwards. We also just want you to get involved in this. Like, this is, again, just beginning, and we need people to be involved. If you want to be a sponsor or donor, that's fantastic. If you just want to show up and be a part of the family, the Q Plus Art family, that's fantastic as well. And I'm just going to say some thank yous because, well, that's what I do as a director. And I'm going to start this time with the staff and volunteers because, well, first let's say, like, the volunteers, man, like, thank you. You guys are always wonderful, and we always tend to give you a thanks at the very end. And so you're great. And then also to Luisa Heredia and her team, who put together a wonderful program for you today. Thank you for guys for showing up. So all the artists and curators who came together, I mean, we didn't just like build this plane while flying, we designed it too. And so it is something that we really wanted to launch this spring for you. And it was a crunch getting it together. So thank you to all the artists and the curators, the speakers today who came together at fairly last minute notice. But so we appreciate you. And then, of course, the people who made this possible. I'm going to start with the founders, and I'm just going to read off their names, and you can applaud whenever you want to applaud. Simon Chu, Arthur Cohen and Daryl Ott, Kevin Comer and Rick Distel, Mark Hamilton, Juan Francisco, John Monahan, Jonathan Murray and Harvey Reese, Mark Pellegrino and Stuart Kent, Michael Rabkin and Chip Tom, and Robert Shield. Thank you to our patrons, Eric Dingler and Rob Reinhardt, and our media partners, Gay Desert Guide. Thank you. And, when the person who those founders and patrons are the ones who are making the activity of this program possible, but the person who is making it, who's ensuring that this program will last in perpetuity is the donor who provided us with the major endowment gift. And that's why we know that this program will last, because we have endowment to be able to support it in perpetuity. And that is thanks to Craig Hartzman and Jim John. And I'm going to have Craig Hartzman say a few words.
Thank you all. And I want to thank Adam for spending my money. For over a year and a half ago, Adam came to me and had this idea for this. And I really wasn't interested in doing more philanthropic kind of things. And yet he spelled this out that day at lunch, and I immediately just said yes. There wasn't even a hesitation. Then I had to go home and convince my husband that we just committed this major part of our kids' inheritance. But it was just something that just made sense. And it was amazing that this wasn't done anywhere else. And where else could we do this but in our hometown? And reaching out, Luisa and her team that does this amazing outreach. But we were really looking at the LGBT community and realized that we weren't doing enough to reach out and make sure that this was home to them. But Adam asked me to give a few moments of why we did it. And the biggest reason we did it is because we're parents. And we have two amazing kids that are now no longer kids in their late 20s and on their way. But we always made sure as they were growing up from infant that they could soar in any way they could, that they could reach and not be judged, whatever their journey was. And that drove me here today, that if we can outreach to a young, queer, budding artist that may be struggling in their own little way, that they can walk into this museum and see themselves up on the wall of these other great artists and think, well, maybe I can do that. And they look up and they see lesbian, gay, transgender, bi, queer artists, that maybe they're just going to have a chance into the future to carry all of this on. So that's what drove us. And we just want to thank this museum for everything that they've done, the board, all the support that we got from other people that joined us in giving money. And we want to thank you for that. And I'd like to turn it over to Louisa. So thank you.